Everybody, welcome to 2023 EJ's Strokes and Concepts. We have Team Apex Paddler right here, Cheryl Hulings. She's 49 and holding, she likes to say, but we know better than that. She's only 39 years old.
The big now.
What?
I love you now.
Oh, she likes me now. She's actually 64 years old. She doesn't like me anymore. The purpose of this video and future instructional videos is going to be to help you enhance your paddling and also extend your paddling career. So somebody like Cheryl just started paddling a few years ago. She's never taken my Strokes and Concepts class. So unfortunately we get to use her as what not to do quite a bit in this class. But she's going to be taking her homework home and working on Strokes and Concepts. And then we'll do the after sometime in the future. And you're going to see that anybody can learn proper technique. So what do you say? We get this thing started. Strokes and Concepts, what's it about? It's about learning what to do with your head, paddle, boat, and body to make your boat go where you want to go. It's about paddling effectively, low impact, low chance of injuring yourself. And it's a way that you can get yourself in good shape and ready to paddle every time you get in, because it's a warm-up program. Once we learn the individual strokes, you'll be able to put them all together in a 12-minute warm-up that warms all the body muscles up and gets you to the next level with your paddling. So let's get this thing started. All right, so our subject here today is going to be Cheryl. Cheryl's not taken Strokes and Concepts before, but she's been paddling 3 years, and she struggled with a roll for a while, but she's starting to get her roll down. She really likes to paddle. I mean, she wants to paddle in a lot of places. So obviously we want to get her skills up. So Cheryl, if there's anything that you could learn right now, what do you want to learn? Like, what do you want?
Better paddler.
There you go.
Boat control.
Boat control. What are some of the challenges you face right now when you're on the river, other than the fact that sometimes you tip over and don't roll up?
Just getting the right direction, going into an eddy, and having boat control.
Boat control.
Boat control.
All right. Well, I guess we're in the right place then. This is Strokes and Concepts. It's about boat control, and let's get this thing going. All right, Cheryl. So you have 4 things that you need to learn to control at the same time, but independently, and they are your head. Let's make sure your head works. Show me you can turn. Good. Perfect. Your head's not stuck over your boat. Your body, you need to be able to twist your body. You also lean forward and back, so you got control of your torso. And then, of course, your paddle. This is strokes, and your paddle's a big part of that. So being able to put your paddle in the right places. And there's a thing we call paddle dexterity, and that is the ability to control your, whether it be feathering, whether it be bracing, cross strokes, forward strokes, or whatever. You're controlling your blade angles. Getting comfortable with that, we call that paddle dexterity, when you are comfortable using your paddle in any old which way that it's needed. And the last is your boat. So make sure you've got some edge control. There you go, cool. So controlling your edges and controlling the boat is your 4th thing that determines or is a tool you can use to get your boat going where you want it to go. So head, paddle, boat, and body. All right, so let's talk about the rules. Start with your head. The rule for your head's really easy. Your head looks at your target. Now the problem that you've got, because everybody has it, including me, is that our default head position, our natural head position, is just looking straight over the bow. The idea being that your brain just thinks, without thinking, that wherever your bow is pointed, you're going to go. But a whitewater kayak, that's not the case. You could be this way and drifting sideways or whatever. But so the rule for a head is you look at your target. So if we want to go towards the shore, towards the camera, you turn, first thing you do is you look at the target. If you want to go to the other side of the river, we look over there. So freeing our head from our shoulders, and it sounds very easy, but there's 2 challenges you're going to have. Number 1, your default head position is going to be over your bow, and you're just going to forget. And number 2, you got to learn what your targets are. In whitewater, actually knowing, do you look 10 feet in front of you? Do you look way down at that eddy you're catching? Understanding the targets is something that we want to learn. So that's your head. Now your torso. Your torso has 2 rules. Rule number 1 is we keep our weight over the boat. Anytime you lean to the side, you're at risk of tipping over. So leaning to the side, not having your weight over the boat, puts you more likely position to have to brace. Come on over here. More likely position to have to brace, but also more likely position you're going to tip, or more likely opportunity you're going to tip over. The other thing that's very important that most people don't learn, that we're going to have to practice, is that our body always leads the turn. What that means is if I want to turn my boat to the left, let's say I want to go over there to the camera. First I look at the target, then you turn your body to the target, and your body leads the turn. So if I'm turning left, my body's is pointed over the left side of the boat. Pretty simple. If you think about most sports, skiing or martial arts or whatever, the body leads in many ways. So it's very similar to a lot of sports. Now the next one sounds very simple, but it's more complicated, or I should say it's more involved than you would think. And that is the paddle. Every paddle stroke should push you in the direction you want to go. Sounds easy, right? So you want to go that way, the paddle should push you that way. We're going to do a little test though. Come over here real quick. Right, okay, right about there. Okay, stop. So what I'm going to do, stop the boat. So you're moving, there you go, stop. Okay, so I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. And as fast as you can, you're going to try to get to that bank. You're not going to go to the bank, you're only going to go like 5 strokes. But you're going full speed. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see you get over there. 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. All right, so now Cheryl can be taught, by the way, but she wasn't listening, and even though she was listening, this is why it's sometimes less harder than you think. I said every paddle stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go, and I asked her to race that way. Her first stroke was a front stroke this way to turn the boat, so she was actually going totally away from the target, and then did a second. Got her going towards the target. So Cheryl, every stroke pushes you in a direction you want to go. An example of that would be you racing that way. Your first stroke is towards the target, straight back. Your second stroke towards. So my 3 strokes, my 1 stroke is going as far as your 3 strokes. My 3 strokes are going more than your 5 by a lot. So anyway, every stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go. Now, as you said, come over here, I can see you. One of the challenges, one of the things you're trying to learn is boat control, right? So a big part of boat control, let's say you want to catch an eddy over there. Well, ideally, you don't have a whole lot of time to catch the eddy. Maybe you just rolled up and now I got to go catch that eddy. Well, if you're pointed the wrong way and your first stroke is away from the eddy, you may just miss the eddy. So how do you get more control and more successfully get you where you want to go? Every stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go, and you have ways to practice that. So we're going to practice that. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, cool. So that's your paddle. Now there is another part to every stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go. And sorry to pick on you again, Cheryl.
How did you get there?
Huh?
What did you do to go there in the direction you wanted to go? A back
If you want to go that way, then your first stroke's a backstroke. Show me.
like here?
Yeah, straight. So it pushes you straight, and the next stroke's a front stroke, straight, and then boom. So there you go. That's Cheryl doing every stroke, pushing her the right way. That was good. So she's already way better paddler. Now, of course, the goal is to make all these things a habit. All right. The other part about a paddle, sorry to pick on you again, point towards me. Pretend you're about to race this way. You're about to do your first super hard stroke. Like put your paddle in position like you're about to race. And get ready. There you go. Don't move a muscle. All right, so Cheryl's ready to rock and roll. She's about to take her first super hard stroke. She's got her paddle way forward. Now, let's take a look at her shaft angle. It's about like that. Okay, so it's about a 45-degree angle. Right now, if Cheryl were to pull with 40 pounds of force, how much of that energy would propel her this way? 20 pounds. What does that mean? It means half of her energy is wasted because she's not, there you go, she's not vertical. She's like this. A 40-pound stroke here is no more powerful than a 20-pound stroke here. So your top hand's job in kayaking is to try to keep the blade as vertical as possible on a forward stroke, for example. So that is also part of every stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go. So right now we have head, spots a target, body's weight stays over the boat, leads the turn. Every stroke pushes you in the direction you want to go, which includes your blade angles. We'll get into that more later. And last but not least is your boat. The boat rules are a little more simple. When in doubt, just keep it flat. Our goal is to control your edge, and there's going to be, when we get to the whitewater situations, where we're going to hold an edge, for example. But when it comes to paddling in general, we want to be able to keep it flat, because keeping it flat is edge control. Most people, when they start paddling, they're dropping edges randomly even in their forward strokes. So we want to learn to keep it flat. All right, that's head, paddle, boat, and body. Those are the basic rules. So now let's get started. What do we say? We start with the most basic. We'll do the forward stroke.